Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith in the Black Planet VTF here at T3 Live, and the rally continues as kind of what we were looking for last week, so let's take a look. So here's one of the problems people are having. They're saying, they're looking at momentum indicators like oscillators and saying it's so overbought. Well, the problem is that it's not possible for price to have momentum, and with that, the problem with that is that you're trying to put gravity on something that doesn't have it. Also, it means you're looking at too short of a chart. You can't tell me that this is overbought. You can't. On the monthly, no. So on the weekly, what were we looking for? Here's the Momo shooter, and we call it momentum because it has to go, because you're going straight into lows, not because it actually has that. Momentum hammer back to the upside. Here, just like we talked about last Friday. And there it is. A good momentum hammer should go out near the highs as you get the buyers and the squeezers on the shorts going at the same time. So what that leaves us with is this. Inside day, inside week, outside day, inside day. And that's important because it went out on both sides and then came inside. So then we got the tighter triangle to get out of. You might recall a few weeks ago we had that big rally, and a lot of that stuff did that. Amazon, outside, inside, boom. So to start off the week, you're going to have inside days and a whole bunch of stuff, the Qs, the SPY, all that stuff. So we got an inside day to start off. And the reason that's important is when we're talking about, people looking for the market to roll over or whatever they're looking for. The problem is that you're going to have a reverse. Once we started coming up, right, on the week, was there any way that we were going to take this out down here? That was going to be pretty tough. It doesn't mean you can't fail and come into it, but that's not what happened. It just held above that weekly high. So if you join me on Tuesdays for the Wheels in Motion show, basically what that does by going on Tuesday is preventing the turnaround Tuesday. Anything that's already been going the same direction for 2 days, if you're going to do it for 5 days, you got to do it for 2. It also gives us if you haven't joined me yet, the Wheels in Motion show I do on the YouTube at T3 Live. I also post it on my Twitter. But what I do is I'll look at the scan like this, right? If you were with me. So if you go to I'll go to the ending scan here. And what we have is how many things we're taking out last week's highs, right? Last week's highs. And you go like so, right? And we scan like this. Volume, last week's highs. And here's all the stocks that we took out last week's highs, right? You start in here, GE, AMD, Bank, Caesars, Ford, General Motors, MU, and you can see that NVIDIA, this is just a massive, massive list, right? And so that would have to change. Or what you do then to see if there's anything countering it, what's taking out last week's lows, all right? Like so. We'll hit the search again, all right? Last week's lows, okay? Not much, right? You got Macy's, Oprah, Dominion Ute, and you can see the difference between the list. And so if that were going to be any different, right, then at least you'd have to start taking out dailies to the downside. That wasn't even happening, right? That wasn't even happening then. So when you look at things in these terms, it's a lot clearer than trying to watch something that is not applicable, like like something that's overbought, because it doesn't have mass. What it can do is go up here and sit and do nothing or keep creeping. And like I said, when you look at that longer term stuff, nowhere near overbought. And then when you want to compare with which ones have the real gusto, when you have a month like this, right? We're probably staying inside month. Fair enough, right? So you go after the ones that aren't staying inside month. They were strong enough to take out last month's highs. Who, pray tell, might that be? Netflix. Bam. Right there. 2-2 reversal here. Taking that out over 298.72. And also triggered on a weekly first. 2 down, 2 back down here. And we're looking on the daily try, and then it expanded that. All right, so that's how you get these big whopper moves off the lows, knowing when the broadening formations are. Broadening formation comes to support. 3-2 day to the upside, and so now it's taking out all these guys, and your triangle looks like this. Boom. There's your big old broadening formation in Netflix. So, if you join me on Tuesdays for the Wheels in Motion show, I pointed all this stuff out and said this is what would need to change. And until that changes, that we're going higher. Also on our T3 Live Facebook Monday through Thursday. I talk about this stuff during the day at the halftime show, and that's 12:30 Eastern. So what does that leave us with? It leaves us with a bunch of inside days and the broader averages. So we could easily go back down on Monday because now you got a new week, right? But you got the 3-2, so either side of this going to get our attention, all right, to start off the week. So this inside day is going to start to be another benchmark for us to keep an eye on. See if we can get back up into this stuff or come back down. Because once you're an inside bar in the month, right, we can expect it to reverse eventually. But the thing is, the first move can be the beefiest before it continues to consolidate within this bar until you can take that out. So not too many inside weakers. Because of the momentum move, almost everything was inside and up or taking out last week's highs, but now that's exhausted, and you still have a ton of inside months. Inside weeks of note, Apple, the one outside inside week, so there's the 3-1 weaker, AVGO. So that's just a couple we can take a look at. But we got the inside days after an outside day, and that's going to be really important on Monday. But when you put all these parts together, it wasn't that hard to understand that we were going higher, albeit gradually and grindy. But that's how it can go. All right, that's going to do it for this week. Hope everybody had a great week and has an even better weekend. I'm Rob Smith in the Black Quantum VTF here at T3 Live at this week's Market Wrap-Up.